by the way my bike cover's being blown around and the actual noise of the weather, it's very windy. I picked Storm Amy to decide to put my suspension back on, and it's dry, so I can put up with the wind. And what I'm going to do, because it's so windy, the microphone won't pick my voice up very well, and all you get is a load of noise. So I'm going to film myself doing my shock, and then I'm just going to do a commentary over the top of it so that you get an idea. And what came this morning, which is what I've also been waiting for, is all my nuts and bolts. By that I mean Fowlers in Bristol. So there's 3 bolts. One of them is a thick bolt here, and then there's the other one. 1, 2, says 3 bolts. That's still in the packet. Maybe I only ordered 2, did I? No, I could have sworn I ordered 3. There's 1, 2, 3. Why did I order 3 nuts and 2 bolts? That doesn't make sense. Oh yeah, one of the bolts is alright, it's just a new nut I need. So, what I'll do, this is the linkage that goes on the back of the bike, and as you can see, the nuts on these 2 have been rather butchered. But this top nut here, this bolt, is a thicker one. So, yeah. I just thought, I've taken this one on and off a couple of times now, so I thought let's get new nuts and bolts. Anyway, I'm going to crack on and show you after. Don't really need that much equipment to do this job. You just need a spanner that fits properly, because it's an awkward job. So I'm just getting the spanners ready first. Because it's so windy out there, I don't particularly want to take... now it's just starting to pour with rain. Damn it. If it carries on raining, I won't be doing it. I'll have to wait another day. The bike is also out of MOT now. The MOT ran out yesterday. Which is typical. Things always happen when the MOT comes around. So I was so annoyed. But what I'm doing while I'm waiting, just getting all the nuts and bolts and that out. Yeah, I just decided to chuck down with rain. Might just be a quick shower, I don't know. Anyway, get the nuts and bolts out, stop that blowing around. I'm going to give this a bit of a clean. So, got a wire brush here, and I've got some. I've kept all this together so that I don't forget how it goes back together, because it's raining hard now. Get out of the way. I am lucky in respect of I've got a shed, so I can do stuff. I'm just going to give this a spray and try and get it as clean as possible before I put it back together. It's good to clean stuff and try and get it all back, and then once it's clean, you know that even though it's going to get dirty as soon as you ride the bike, but at least it's clean when you put it back together. So you can see if there's anything wrong with anything. Normally I would wear gloves, but I've run out. So, unfortunately, dirty hands. I have to make sure I get my hands a bit clean. Right. That is better. I'm not taking it completely apart because I'll forget how it goes back together. Okay. So I'm happy with that. There's no real damage. There's no real grooves in it from wear and tear. So that's okay. All looks nice and clean. So that one is a buggered bolt. Look at this. Look at that thread. It's completely gone. So that is a replaceable bolt there. Again, I'm not trying to make it all new and shiny. I'm just trying to make it clean, so that when I put it back together, I know I've done a nice job. And again, I'm going to stick some grease in there, like so. That's it. Just to help those bearings stay lubricated. There's the spacer, and the spacer just slots in. There you go. So that's nicely lubricated. And then that one goes. So in here, don't know if you can see, these are needle roller bearings. Can you, I get the light in, can't really, yeah, there you go. So they are needle roller bearings, and the water when you're riding, rainwater, we've had a lot of floods in Wiltshire. Every year we get floods, and the water gets into these bearings, and I think I've replaced these 3 or 4 times just through corrosion. And what happens, they start making a kind of cracking noise when you put the bike on the stand or move it off the stand. They make a really loud cracking noise, and it's where they've gone rusty and they're breaking up. So I always now, saying that I've replaced them 3 or 4 times is a lie, I've replaced them twice actually. But now what I do, about once a month, is I got some gear oil in a little can, and I just oil them like you would on an old bike, like an old English bike. You can oil and grease nipple the joints, and that's what I do with these, because they corrode really, really quickly. And even though they have got rubber seals, water still gets in and they do corrode badly. So what I've done with these is I've put a load of high temperature grease in them. Well, not a load, just like that, around the edge, like this. Stick it in with your finger. You can feel the needle roller bearings in there going round, and then put some on the other side like this. You don't want loads, but you want a good coating. Even that's not going to last that long, but I'm going to stick that in like that. That's the spacer that goes in there, so that's nicely greased. And then I'm going to put a little bit of grease on the bolt, even though I haven't put on the bike yet, but that's going in there. And then try and want so as you can see, I've strapped the back wheel up so I can get the suspension in. And here we have it. It's very poor lighting, I'm afraid, but this is where it all connects. I need to get this bolt under there through the shock absorber and hold the shock absorber at the same time. Let's get these out. I always put the bike back together when I'm know I'm going to be waiting a couple of weeks for parts or something, so that I don't forget where everything goes. Not that I would, I've worked on it so many times now, but also so you don't lose parts. Okay, so what I need to do is to get this in here. I'm going to get my socket set. So you can't really see, but in there is where it's got to go, and it's not easy. I don't know an easy way of doing this, to be honest. And that happens a lot. Bit of a brainwave. Let's try and get it up this way. Yes. So, why didn't I think of this before, guys? Stick your hand up and get the bolt in. There's the bolt. How did I get it out last time? It came out, so it most definitely must go in. Did I go in the other way? Love of motorbikes, guys. What say you? That's it there. And there's the bracket. And the other side is where? Always a good lesson in patience, this is. Came out, so it's got to go in. There. Okay. It's hanging in there. I don't know if you can even see it, but up in there. There it is up there, the bolt. Okay. Not a good angle, that one. Seems I've lost a nut somewhere. Now, we need to get this in. Okay. Somehow. There's a wiring harness right in the way of where I need to be. Wet knees and a wet bum, eh? Okay, so what I need to do, so I need to get this socket in there on the end of this nut. I need to get this nut out slightly. evening, guys. I just wanted to put this video on because it was something I needed to do and I wanted to film it, but the weather was so windy that I couldn't keep my camera from falling over. And also it just started to rain, so I had to stop the video. But I wanted to put it on to show how, if you haven't got a garage and you use your bike as your everyday transport, sometimes it can be a bit difficult to keep it on the road. And I eventually obviously got the suspension fitted, but I didn't film it because the weather was really bad. And I had to get it done because I had it booked in for an MOT on the Monday. So my apologies, but I just thought it was worth putting on to show how it can be a struggle sometimes. If you haven't got the perfect environment and you haven't got a bike ramp or a garage full of tools, you have to make the best of it, but it's still possible to do it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll put some more out soon. Sorry for the delay, but things have been busy. And ride safe. See you soon. Bye bye.